Hello everybody, welcome back to the League of 72. My name is James Alcott and this is the Promotion Power Rankings. We've been going at this for a few weeks now. It's been so much fun and the teams have gone up and down. This is how it works. There are 19 places on the Promotion Power Rankings. That adds up to the automatic places in the three divisions and the playoff places in the three divisions added up to 19. So you want to be in those 19 spots. We'll go from first down to 19th, and those teams down the bottom, those are the teams that are just hanging on when it comes to the idea and possibility of getting promoted this season. If you disagree, or if you agree, make sure you get involved in the comments down below. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy this video, and of course subscribe to the League of 72. It's only going to get hotter with the playoffs on the horizon, so make sure you get involved and hit that subscribe button. Right, let's get into it then, guys. First spot this week, it's the same as last week. It's the same as the last few weeks. Fulham still in first spot when it comes to Promotion Power Rankings. We thought they may be promoted by the time we recorded. That isn't the case because they lost to Coventry City. Coventry City actually doing the double on them, but Fulham still created a lot of chances in that game. 4 big chances in that game. So, should they be a little bit nervous after that defeat? Could it all crumble to pieces? I can't see it happening. Let's hear what Jack's got to say about it. He's from the Fulhamish podcast.
So in terms of Fulham's chances of promotion, I mean, given yesterday's defeat to Coventry, it doesn't really change much in the grand scheme of things. I think we're still going up as champions. I think we need 12 more points to secure the title, and that's all depending on, if Bournemouth drop points over the next couple of weeks. Fulham are basically there. We just need to get it over and done with. But yeah, looking forward to next season. I think Fulham are going to be in the Premier League next season.
Up 2 spots in the Promotion Power Rankings this week. Wigan Athletic going up into second spot. Now they're top, of course, of League One, although it was a bit of a blip this week against Burton. In third spot, Forest Green Rovers, who've been flying high in the Promotion Power Rankings and flying high when it comes to League 2. But I'm a little bit nervous about them. I reckon Forest Green Rovers fans are as well. Let me know in the comments, guys, how you're feeling about this, because it's been very wobbly for quite a while. Without Matt Stevens, there just seems to be a bit of a gap there in the final third, a bit of tensing up. And I think they're still in third place, and there's a good reason for that. It's because they should get promoted. But in terms of being champions, that is up for grabs. Let's have a look at the league table here. Because in fourth spot in the Power Rankings this week is Exeter City. And there's a reason for that, because Forest Green Rovers are getting pegged back as time goes on. 79 points now. Exeter City with 74. A draw for Forest Green Rovers against Hartlepool in midweek. Should have won the game. Omar Bogle scoring a goal for Hartlepool, who've had a very, very solid season, their first season in League 2. But Exeter City, as I said, are in fourth spot this week. And it's about keeping the momentum. It's about winning games. It's about not conceding goals. And sometimes it's about scoring some late goals. And in this video, there's a few late goals that we'll be showing you. We're showing you all the limbs that are available this week. And Paddy Amond scored the winner here. What I love about this is just being in the right spot in the middle of that 6-yard box. Look how many, it's completely surrounded with players here. But it doesn't matter. What's amazing with Paddy Amond as well is the fact that he's on loan from Newport County, who are one of the teams trying to get into the playoffs right now. And so for him to be on loan scoring that goal, and Exeter City are above them right now, that's something for them to be a little bit nervous about in terms of some of their dealings, because he's gone there and it could cost Newport County. Next up on the list this week, Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth, they stay in the same spot, but they drew with Sheffield United. It was a 0-0 draw, and Sheffield United were much better. We'll be talking about Sheffield United a little bit later on. The reason Bournemouth hang in there right now is because, possession is 9/10 of the law when it comes to the table, and they are in second place. And we'll show you that table in just a second. But I want to show you the fixtures first of all, because Bournemouth have disgusting fixtures. Really, really horrible fixtures coming up, and they've still got to play Nottingham Forest as well. Second to last game of the season, and Nottingham Forest are starting to knock at the door when it comes to the automatic promotion places. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Bournemouth should be okay. They got lucky in that Sheffield United game. I've got to be honest, should have been a penalty against Nat Phillips on Morgan Gibbs-White as well. But they should be fine. But I think the thing I would be concerned about, and they could drop when it comes to these rankings, is the fact that If they don't finish in that top two, that is a real body blow, a real psychological blow for Bournemouth. And if they do drop into those playoffs, are they going to be able to pick themselves up and go again with no momentum? Because it would mean that they'd have to lose some of those difficult games that are still to come. But it is a very, very difficult period for Bournemouth now. They're going to have to sort of keep calm and carry on. It's going to be very, very difficult for them. In sixth spot in the power rankings this week, MK Dons. Would you like to see a screamer? Okay, let's show you one. My boy Troy Parrott from my Football Manager days. If you know, you know. And if you don't worry about it. This is an absolute screamer. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Disappointingly for MK Dons, is it was only a draw. That said, they are in really, really good spots for the automatic promotion places. That's where they've been able to rise and go up one spot this week. They'll be a little bit disappointed with the fact that they didn't win that game against AFC Wimbledon, and Mark Bowen's doing some good work there now, starting to get a bit of a bounce from AFC Wimbledon as they look to try and survive in the division. But if we look at the fixtures for MK Dons, the next two of the next three, or the next three of the next four, are really, really difficult. We're going to be looking at fixtures a lot between now and the end of the season. And although they mean something, they also don't. But there's so many teams playing each other in all three divisions. It's absolutely amazing. It's something that we've obviously got to pick up on and show you guys. So to play Sheffield Wednesday, to play Oxford United, Morecambe fighting for their lives as well. So those games don't get any easier. They're certainly not on the beach. And Plymouth Argyle. Wow. I mean, incredible for MK Dons in terms of the fixture they've got coming up. Let's see if they can keep it moving. In terms of teams that are keeping it moving, we spoke about them last week. They were new entry last week. They are now flying up the power rankings, up into 7th spot. 2-0 victories last week, and Nottingham Forest are just absolutely flying right now. And as shown by Keenan Davis's goal here, this is after 5 minutes, and this is what teams that are just bringing with confidence do. There's no way that he should be scoring from this position, but he just motors past. Great technique to put it in that bottom right-hand corner. He's flying, inspired signing, and Nottingham Forest are absolutely flying as well. And now is the time to look at that table, because with Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest battling it out here, and look, Huddersfield are still in there, but the reason I don't talk about them is because in terms of games played, both have played 39 games, so there are still sort of games in hand for them. 67 to 73, it looks like it should be done and dusted. You look at the goal difference as well, that's another point for Bournemouth as well, and that's why we kept them high in the promotion power rankings right now. But Forest fans, talk to me. Let me know how you feel about this one, because do you think you can do it? I can't believe, I nearly put money on them and I didn't, and I'm heartbroken about that. Let's have a look at Nottingham Forest's fixtures here, because this is the difference for me, is that yes, okay, you've got Fulham, and look, let's get to that point as well. And Luton Town is not an easy game as well, but there's no reason with the form that Forest are showing right now that they can't win all of those games. Honestly, they are like a train right now. So second place is there. Big question, but I want to know, guys, Nottingham Forest fans, talk to me. Do you think you will get second? Simple yes or no question. Give us an answer in the comments down below. Into 8th spot, and actually when we're looking at these promotion power rankings, if you think of the first sort of 7, I think those are the teams that we really think are going to go up with automatic promotion. After that, we're looking at the sort of the hot prospects when it comes to the playoffs. I think we've got a couple of hot prospects here. Port Vale, who still has to play Bristol Rovers, Newport, Exeter City, could fall out of the League Two playoff places, but are absolutely flying right now. Proctor's been fantastic. Wilson's been fantastic as well. And they've won 7 of the last 8. Absolutely amazing stuff. 3-2 victory against Oldham. Proctor grabbing the goals again, doing brilliant stuff. Again in League Two, next up is Mansfield, who are in great form as well. Routine victory for them. We can show you a goal from that game. 4-0 victory against Scunthorpe. We're really struggling at this point in time. This is from your defensive midfielder, Sturck, who drives through, taking bodies as he makes his way and then puts it into the bottom corner. Great goal for him. And they are fighting there as well. And we can have a look at the League Two table now, because when you look at Port Vale and Mansfield, within that, it is so tight. That second spot and third spot, those are the places that you want to be in. I think we think that Forest Green Rovers are going to win the title here, despite what I said a little bit earlier. And Exeter City could catch them, but you can't see Port Vale catching them. I don't think there's enough games for them to do that. So that third spot with League Two, of course, which is an automatic promotion place, is going to be so hotly contested. Mansfield have that game in hand. They don't have the goal difference on Port Vale, but it is so up for grabs when it comes to these two. With these promotion power rankings, some teams go up. That means that some teams have got to come down as well when their form drops. Rotherham are one of those teams, and the blips continue to happen for Rotherham right now. It's a bit of a scary time after being in the top 2 for the entirety of the season, let's be honest. It's a very, very difficult time for them. How are they holding up? Let's hear what Matt Lax from New York Talk has to say about it.
Difficult to know what to say as a Rotherham fan right now. I don't know what's gone wrong at the club. We were looking brilliant even just a few weeks ago. Right now we can't score, we can't defend, and with 5 games left it's becoming a massive, massive concern. There needs to be changes in terms of where we perform, whether that's a change in personnel in playing with picks, or whether it's change in formation. I honestly don't know, but the way it's going, we are going to end up in the playoffs.
Plymouth retain their spot, 11th spot, and we talk about fixtures a lot, and we're going to show you a lot of fixtures. I don't think it gets worse than Plymouth Argyle's next few games. Let's have a look at them. Disappointing draw against Burton. That is a real killer for them. They're in 4th spot at the moment. But Wycombe, Sunderland, Wigan Athletic, and MK Dons. It doesn't get harder than that. I think there's a problem here with the fact that Ryan Hardy obviously hasn't been playing. They're trying to get him back as quickly as possible. Jeff Cott missing as well. Connor Grant, those are the 3 top scorers for Plymouth. And I think that's the thing where, as good as they've been, they've had a couple of tricky games, the Ipswich game, the Burton game, and the goals seem to be drying up just that little bit. They need to sort of hold firm now. And they've got some really, really tough games on the horizon. I'm a little bit worried for Plymouth, I've got to be honest. I think if there's a team that's going to start to drop down, it could well be them, despite doing as well as they have so far this season. In 12th spot, Bristol Rovers, Joe Barton's men. It was a 1-1 draw for them. Elliot Anderson is going to be crucial for them. Cracking midfielder. They've got a couple of Andersons. Harry Anderson, Elliot Anderson. And the one thing I would say with Bristol Rovers is, and look at that swivel and turn. It's fantastic stuff. Elliot Anderson now with 4 goals in League 2 for them. He's going to be crucial. They didn't actually create a big chance in this game. And you can see from that, he had to create that himself. And I wonder if that's going to be the problem for Bristol Rovers, who, again, when we look at the League 2 table, it's so tight there that the lack of chances that they create and the fact that they don't get people in the box, they don't have that central striker. When you look at Aaron Collins, he's often drifting over to the right-hand side, and I think that's a bit of a concern for me. They don't concede many, but you can see from their goal difference, they're not probably scoring enough right now. They're okay at the moment, but as you can see, it is so tight. Let's have a look at their fixtures, because Salford, who have come from nowhere. We'll be talking about Salford in just a second. Salford at home, really tough. Port Vale right up there. Forest Green Rovers right up there as well. And then Rochdale team who are in 16th place. These are really tough. And I think the next 3 games will define the season for them in terms of getting into the playoffs. So it is so finely poised. It's absolutely fascinating stuff. Next up, we jump up to the Championship now, and Huddersfield Town currently in 3rd spot in the league. Great victory in a big game against Luton Town, a 2-0 victory, and this was the pick of the goals. John Russell completely means that, totally on purpose. Absolutely delicious little lob. You don't really see goals like that. And look at that. He knows what he's doing, doesn't he? He knows what he's doing. Great goal for Russell there. They're looking very good, and they should be happy with themselves. Ryan is very happy with themselves, and he thinks something's happening. Let's have a look.
I think the chances of Huddersfield Town getting promoted now are very big, especially after last night's massive win against Luton. That really has... It almost feels like we've made that giant step towards the playoffs, even though it's not mathematically actually happened yet. It feels like it's a massive step, and the team spirit, the team that we've got, these players just continue to keep going, and we've just got something so special now, and it very much reminds me of when we went up to the Premier League, the last time. So yeah, I'm very happy with how things are going, and I really fancy us. I really do. Without sounding too arrogant, I think we have got a massive chance here now.
Moving up 4 spots this week, just like Huddersfield Town actually, into 14th spot is Sunderland. Last minute winner once again in a huge game against Oxford. Absolutely huge. Away from home as well. Lovely little goal here as well. Just calmness personified. Embleton scoring the goal. 2 weeks on the bounce now. Last minute limbs, and you can see the fans are very, very happy. Very, very happy with that. And Sunderland are doing all right. You know, we get talking about fixtures a lot, but we have to. And for Sunderland, it's not too bad. But when we look at the league table, that's where you see just how tight it is, with 3 teams at the moment: Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe, all on 73 points. So the fixtures do matter. Let's have a look at Sunderland's first of all, because there's not much to sort of pick apart between those two as well. Shrewsbury Town have been impressive of late, so that's a harder game than you think. Plymouth Argyle, of course, absolutely huge. Cambridge United will be one, they'll be desperate to win that one. Then Rotherham, who will be fighting for their lives, trying to get that automatic promotion place as well. So tough games, 2 tough ones, 2 that you would hope to get a victory in at the very least. Let's have a look at Sheffield Wednesday, and it's a similar thing really. MK Dons, huge game next up. Crewe Alexandria, you expect a victory there. Wycombe, huge game. I just keep saying huge game, don't I? But they're so big. And then Fleetwood Town, they would expect to win that one as well. So it is totally up for grabs when it comes to those positions, and it's going to go right to the wire. This is going to go to the last game of the season when it comes to these guys. Let's stay in Sheffield. Next up on the power rankings, a new entry. Sheffield United are back. I think they dropped out for a couple of weeks and now back in. And it was a 0-0 draw against Bournemouth, but they were very impressive. 4 big chances created in that game. Morgan Gibbs-White looked very, very good as well. And I think the big thing for me with them is that their fixtures are quite nice. Reading, Bristol City, Cardiff City, and everyone's friend, Queen's Park Rangers right now. Those are all stupidly winnable games, let's be honest. I know Reading are fighting for their lives right now, but still, you would take those games if you were Sheffield United. And I think with that in mind, that should mean that they will be... I would expect them to be safe when it comes to those playoff places. You'd be absolutely distraught if you were a Sheffield United fan and that didn't happen. Let's hear from one. Let's hear from Nick from Sheffield United Way.
Recently, the Blades have been massively inconsistent. We've been playing at home, and I'm thinking we're the best team in the world. And then we go away, and we can't string 3 passes together. Now, not only that, Billy Sharp has recently picked up an injury, and it's looking like he's going to be out for the next 2 or 3 games. So that means that Ollie McBurney, as the only fit senior striker, he really, really needs to step up. Now, recently, we've been doing quite well as well. We've just beaten QPR quite comfortably. Sorry, James. And then we've nearly gone and beaten 2nd place Bournemouth. So it's a very exciting time to be a Blade right now. I think we've got a great chance of definitely getting into the playoffs, if not going up. Because if we can play like we do at home, away from home, and in the playoffs if we get there, I think we've got as good a chance as anybody.
Just 3 spots left in this week's power rankings, so that's teams either teetering on the brink on the way out or on the charge on the way in. Let's find out who they are. First of all, 17th spot, Northampton Town. I think, sadly, it's the negative side of this one. A 0-0 draw against Bradford. So disappointing. They are in free fall right now, in 5th spot at the moment, but with the teams battling out and how tight it is in League 2 right now, the big thing for me, they don't score goals. And I was looking at their top goal scorers, and their highest scoring forward is Kian Ntete. And Kian Ntete doesn't play for Northampton Town anymore. They're all defenders or midfielders. That's a huge problem. If you don't score goals, you're not going to be able to get into the playoffs. They've only conceded 34 this year, but they've only scored 47, and that's miles off the other promotion chasers. And I think that's what's going to hurt them. Let's have a look at their fixtures. This is the one thing that does give them a real chance. Northampton fans, let me know how you feel on this one, because those are winnable games. Those first 3 are really, really winnable games. You know, Oldham have been better under Sheridan, but still, you would expect them to win that one. And all those 3 teams, and then you've got that game against Exeter City. Northampton need to get to that game against Exeter City with them in the playoff places, because that's going to be a very, very tough one for them. We thought that might be one for automatic promotion places. Now it could be a dead rubber if Northampton don't get themselves into gear. Really, really struggling at the moment to score goals. It's huge for them. Next up, in 18th spot, Luton, dropping 5 places after that defeat to Huddersfield Town. Still in 5th place in the playoff places, and it was that penalty miss that really hurt them. It could have helped them get back into the game, weren't able to do so. This is the build-up to the goal. It's no doubt, it's definitely a penalty. Adebayo, who's been brilliant for Luton this season, scored so many goals for them, but unable to do so here. And these are the moments. These are the moments when, if you don't take those chances, especially away from home, it's going to hurt you. Next up for them, Forest. That's huge. They're going to need to try and get something from that. After that, Cardiff and Blackpool. So they're still completely in it. And I think they've got a real chance of getting it, but they need to keep that momentum going. It's a team that's got real quality, and I don't think anyone expected them to be in the playoff places, but they just need to get past that Forest game, I think. And if they can get themselves a draw, especially at home, they've got a chance. And then after that, they might be able to get themselves into the playoffs. But for them to win the playoffs at the moment, I look at that team and I'm just not sure right now. So that's why they're in 18th spot this week. But they are in there. They're still in there. And who knows? And a victory and they might bounce back up the rankings. And then final spot, we've got a new entry. Had to be Salford. In you come, lads. And the reason for it, of course, Matt Smith. What a signing this is. Because this cross comes in, and if you know Matt Smith and what he can offer, there is no other person on the planet you could put up against Matt Smith who's going to win that header before him. That is bread and butter. He should not be playing in League Two right now. He scored both goals in this game. 5 wins in the last 6 matches for Salford, on a real charge right now, looking really, really strong. Currently in 8th spot, so not actually in there. Their fixtures as well aren't too bad as well. Barrow and Oldham, Stevenage on the way as well. But don't let me tell you about that. Let's hear from Dave, who's a Salford City fan.
I'd give the chances of Salford City's promotion no better than 50-50. But given the situation we were in January, most Salford fans would take that. We have 2 tough games. Bristol Rovers away on Good Friday and Mansfield at home. The other 3 games are against the 3 relegation candidates, Barrow, Oldham and Stevenage. So Salford fans are looking forward to the last few games of the season, as is everybody, and we've got every chance.
So Salford make it in. That is your cut-off point. Those are your 19 teams that are battling it out. So some teams have missed out. Tranmere have fallen out. Middlesbrough have fallen out. And there's still so many other teams as well. You know, look at Sutton United, Blackburn Rovers, who haven't been in our promotion power rankings because we thought for a while that they might drop out. If you're fans of any of those teams, talk to me. Do you think we're wrong? Do you think they'll be making their way back in? And make sure you join us next week to find out if your team makes it into that 19. Teams are going to get taken away soon. We're not going to have 19 for long because teams are going to start to get promoted as the trapdoor shuts in terms of the places to get yourself up into the next division. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the League of 72 and hit the like button if you enjoyed this. I'll see you next week.